Zelenskyy scores major French jet deal for Ukraine. Ukraine's Marines push limits with intense water-ups training. Here's the latest, so you will be in focus. Subscribe and stay tuned. Kyiv plans to purchase around 100 French-made Rafale fighter jets. Presidents Volodymyr Zelenskyy and Emmanuel Macron signed a declaration of intent to significantly strengthen Ukraine's air force and air defense capabilities. The leaders meet in France and the air base on the outskirts of Paris. Larissa Petruk will provide more details about Zelensky's visit to France.
Even before his visit to France, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy called the future agreement with his French counterpart historic.
There will be significant strengthening of our combat aviation, our air defense, our other defense capabilities, a good substance to the visit. This is what really helps Ukraine defend itself and achieve our goals, our tasks.
On the morning of November 17th, Volodymyr Zelenskyy and his team landed at Villa Coublay Air Base in the Paris suburbs. There, he was met by Emmanuel Macron. Reuters agency, citing its own sources, writes that negotiations between the parties have been ongoing for the past several weeks. In Kyiv, they insisted that Paris could provide more military support for Ukraine's air defense. As a result, the sides signed a declaration. Ukraine will receive Rafale combat aircraft, SAMP-T air defense systems, radars for these complexes, air-to-air missiles, and air bombs. The cooperation plan between the countries is outlined for the next 10 years. The agreements cover not only the transfer of weapons, but also joint Ukrainian-French production.
Already this year, joint projects between our defense industries will begin. We will jointly produce interceptor drones, work on developing critical technologies and components that can be integrated into Ukrainian unmanned systems, new aircraft, new strengthening, new steps to strengthen our army and our country. Volodymyr Zelenskyy, President of Ukraine, on Telegram.
Unnamed sources of the Reuters agency claim that part of the Rafale combat aircraft may come directly from French stockpiles, with the rest transferred in the long term.
According to the Élysée Palace, this agreement, designed for a period of about 10 years, provides for possible future contracts for Ukraine's acquisition of new French defense equipment, around 100 Rafale fighters with appropriate armament. Additionally, as clarified by the French president's administration, it includes new purchases of high-precision AASM Hammer air bombs and unmanned systems, from a publication by Le Figaro.
France began operating fourth-generation Rafale combat aircraft back in 2001. They have long been exported to India, Egypt, Qatar, Greece, and Croatia. The aircraft can be equipped with a wide range of munitions, including air-to-air missiles and precision-guided bombs. Experts note the Rafale's advantages: versatility, reliability, and effectiveness in combat.
You are demonstrating your readiness for peace. Only Russia continues the war. The intensification of strikes on Ukraine's critical infrastructure is additional proof of this cynicism and this aggressiveness, because every attack on civilians today is proof that Russia is pursuing the goal of taking your territories under its control. Russia's commitment to war is provoking us to accelerate peace, and this peace must be created by all of us, Europeans. We must not miss any opportunity, as well as the USA and all countries that adhere to the UN Charter.
Support for Ukraine from France is not limited to weapons supplies, noted Emmanuel Macron. This includes allocating funds to restore Ukraine's critical infrastructure amid Russian shelling and cooperation in rail transportation. Additionally, Paris commits to continuing to work with partners to strengthen sanctions against the aggressor.
With us are France and all free Europe, the United States and other countries of the world, from Canada to Asian countries, from Japan to Latin American countries. Help us. We have created one of the largest coalitions for protecting lives. Unity works. That's why we can shoot down Russian missiles, why we can stop Russian assaults daily on the front. We are restoring our energy sector. It's very hard, very difficult, but we are restoring our infrastructure when Russia destroys it. And most importantly, we give other nations hope that Russia will not succeed in making war the new norm.
Already on Tuesday, November 18th, the Ukrainian president has scheduled negotiations in Spain, reported by Larissa Petruk, UATV News.
Ukrainian Marines continue intensive training to keep their skills sharp. Their missions on the water are among the most demanding. The success of an entire operation can depend on speed, precision, and seamless teamwork. How troops prepare for such challenging conditions and what obstacles they face during real combat missions is in the focus of a report by my colleague Daria Litovchenko.
Landing on shore, orienting on terrain, and securing positions. Fighters of the 40th Separate Coastal Defense Brigade of the 30th Marine Corps are practicing amphibious assault skills.
You are on occupied territory. Disembark and repel the enemy.
Every movement must be honed to automatic perfection. This is not just physical training. It's the ability to act quickly, silently, and precisely.
On the direction we operate, dynamics and speed play a huge role. We work a lot on the water, at night, in bad weather, and so on. Today, we train the guys who came after basic military training, arrived at the unit, and now we're bringing them up to speed.
Most operations are conducted under cover of darkness, yet even at night there is a constant risk of being spotted by Russian drones.
There are a lot of drones. A lot. FPV, Mavics, Zala, Supercams that film and guide. They have a very large radius. We are a priority target, as it's called in the Army, because training plus equipment costs money. On water, there's nowhere to hide. Only skill and luck.
On the water, the crew becomes an easy target, so the success of the operation largely rests on the helmsman's shoulders. This mission is carried out by a fighter with the call sign Rumun. His tasks include delivering infantry, evacuating the wounded, extracting prisoners, and delivering ammunition.
On the water, it's already the assault troops' skills, so they obey the helmsman because he is their commander on the boat, and you give orders regardless of their rank, so they cover their sectors. No one zones out, both going in and coming back. Do they obey? They obey. What else can they do? Everyone wants to live on the way back. The guys are relaxed and thinking it's over. But for us, the return trip isn't the end either. You're focused both going in and coming back.
If the boat is still spotted by the enemy, the route must be changed instantly, or the operation postponed.
The guys need to reach the other bank and take positions, so you're not detected. If you realize you've been detected, you have to change deployment locations.
Sometimes they have to operate practically blind. Rumun recalls one of the most difficult operations, evacuating a fighter who had lost contact.
The difficulty was we didn't know his exact location. We approached one point, shouted, and did not hear any answer. Turned back, and I just happened to hear his response. At that moment, he was left alone because his brothers in arms had been killed.
That's why Marine training is as close as possible to real combat conditions. Fighters rehearse every detail, from landing to reaching the line. The main thing is communication, because it plays a crucial role on the battlefield.
From my experience, when they're shooting at you, you realize you can be killed, you try to hide somewhere, panic starts, people can get lost, and then the commander's mandatory actions begin. Calm the situation, give clear instructions to save the lives of personnel.
Archie has served in the Ukrainian Army since 2014. He has experience in the anti-terrorist operation, Joint Forces operation, and the defense of Mariupol. Since 2023, he has been an instructor passing on his experience to his brothers in arms.
On land, we can maneuver and do certain things. On water, it's much harder. I mean for the infantry themselves. In non-standard situations, if someone falls out of the boat, you're no longer mobile. There is danger both there and there that threatens our lives. And this is how we train every day, teach people, improve ourselves so it's safer, and people know how to act and so on. We work, we train, we teach, and we will keep doing it with our last strength.
On the water, there is no room for error. Every Marine is prepared for conditions where seconds decide everything. Marines are trained as universal fighters, capable of performing tasks in any terrain and any weather. Reported by Daria Litovchenko, UATV News.
What's your take on all this? Share your thoughts below. This is UATV. Stay sharp, in focus, and stay safe.